the issues that he's had with managers, etc., has been an extraordinary.
Hello everybody, welcome to your live watch along of Napoli versus Cagliari in Serie A.
This time, how high are their sights being set? There's talk of Scudettos heading down south once again, and after a start like the one they've had,
Come on boys!
it's understandable. Can it continue though against Walter Mazzari's Cagliari? Let's find out. But first, let me quickly mention that you can enjoy today's action with your friends on the BT Sport app by choosing the Watch Together option for this and so much more. Download the app to your mobile or tablet. But, as I say, we enjoy the action from Naples in the company of Don Hutchinson and Adam Somerton.
Thank you, James. Evening, everyone. Well, what is the life of a football supporter without the ability to dream? The Napoli fans can be forgiven for letting the mind wander in recent days, in recent weeks. A 100% start in Serie A, 8 goals without reply in their last 2 games.
Come on boys!
It's no wonder really that Neapolitan excitement is building right now. A first Scudetto since 1990 would mean everything to this football-mad city. I have to say, on Sardinia, the mood could hardly really be more different. Cagliari already on lesson. Walter Mazzari says he's excited about the job that he's taken on there. He returns to Naples with a side that has 2 points from victory of the league season. Almost goes without saying right now. It's a shame, as James and James have just been saying, that the stadium can't yet be full. Should be back up to around 75%. We hope in the coming weeks.
Napoli!
How important he will be this evening. 4 goals in 5 league games so far for Cagliari's top scorer last season. There is plenty of experience in this Cagliari side tonight, and they're going to need it up against a Napoli team who are playing some of the best football in Italy, if not in Europe, right now. 2 4-0 victories in the space of less than a week, both away from home at Udinese and then at Sampdoria.
Come on boys!
This is an exciting team that Spalletti is putting together, of course, given such solid foundations by Gennaro Gattuso. The Naples-born Lorenzo Insigne who leads them out in his 10th season now in the first team at his hometown club. After 2 such emphatic victories away from home, the Napoli supporters glad to see their players on home soil again tonight at the wonderful Stadio Diego Armando Maradona, of course, formerly the San Paolo. Still getting used to the change in name. Spalletti saying how good a friend he is with Walter Mazzari.
Come on Napoli!
Plenty of mutual respect between the 2 head coaches.
Come on boys! Come on Napoli!
Here's the friendly handshake between Mazzari and Spalletti. Always strange seeing Mazzari back in the dugout in Naples. Enjoyed plenty of happy times during his 4 years in charge here. Up until May of 2013, the Coppa Italia victory in 2012, beating Juventus. One of the highlights of that. Marco Piccinini is the referee this evening. VAR official is
Guys, put your question in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys put in front of me.
Strootman there, and Spalletti reunited. That is a team that is flying at the moment, described as a tank by Walter Mazzari, the Cagliari coach in the lead-up to this match. He said it's up to Cagliari to put a spanner in the works of that particular tank. Insigne and João Pedro, the respective captains, plenty of experience and know-how there. Napoli have scored 8 goals without reply so far this week, so little surprise really to see Spalletti keep changes to a minimum. It's 10 of the 11 who began the 4-0 win at Samp. Matteo Politano is preferred to Irving Lozano, who's on the bench. Also among the subs is Dries Mertens, who's available again after shoulder surgery over the summer.
Dries Mertens is finally back!
5 goals in his last 3 games. Walter Mazzari's made 4 changes to the Cagliari side that began their 2-0 loss to Empoli this week. He's turned to experience in the main with 30-somethings Godin, Caceres and Strootman all brought back in. Also restored to the side is Italian under-21 international Gabriele Zappa, who returns from a ban. Out of the 11 go Cepitelli, David Enrique, Carboni and Keita Balde. The captain João Pedro has 4 goals in 5 league games this season. Well, Napoli, if you trace back to the end of last season, are now 14 Serie A games unbeaten. They've won 11 of them. They are scoring freely and defending resolutely. There's lots to be happy about for their supporters. Spalletti's start's been superb. And it's led to
Napoli gets on the way here in Serie A.
And I guess, Don, that maintaining momentum, returning to the top of the table, will be the priorities tonight. Cagliari most certainly the underdogs.
Oh, absolutely. I seen Cagliari a couple of weeks ago against Lazio, and I thought they were absolutely fantastic. They started the game, they put Lazio right on the back foot, and actually should have won the game bar the late Tatal, the equaliser. So complacency, I think, would have been the message from Spalletti in his team talk. They must start well, try and get that early goal, and that might just deflate Cagliari. But while they are in the game, Cagliari, they're a very hard work inside, and they're good and they're easy on the eye when they're going forward.
Mazzari as well will want to see a reaction to that.
Come on board!
2-0 home defeat to Empoli. What was his first home game in charge as well? I just think, Don, reading his pre-match comments ahead of this match, I think he felt that with 2 games in such quick succession, that maybe they'd suffered a bit because of fatigue. They put so much into that Lazio draw that you saw.
Yeah, I think so. They didn't see the Empoli result happening after the performance against Lazio, so yeah, they had that manager bounce against Lazio and they had a good result in terms of the draw. Could have been better, but this is a game of high quality, and the quality of opposition is right up there. Napoli are absolutely flying this season. 5 wins from 5, averaging close to 3 goals a game, so this is a proper test.
Fabian Ruiz to Di Lorenzo, Italy's right back these days. Ramani. Lovely ball to pick out Insigne, the captain. Mario Rui. Di Lorenzo. For a weekend it's already been in Serie A. So many goals and talking points.
Guys, vote on the poll in the chat.
The start to the season has got lots of people talking, not just in Italy, but around the continent. 8 goals without reply in 4 days this week. I guess Cagliari's first priority here is to prevent a fast start from the home side.
Absolutely. You'd imagine that Mazzari's team shape's going to be a little bit defensive very early on, just to try and get into the flow of the game, get into the rhythm. But keep an eye out for number 18, bottom of the screen, Nandez. I think he's one of their best players, a terrific player that's very versatile. He can play off João Pedro, normally plays off the right-hand side, but a real talent, real good player to watch.
The Napoli team for you guys today is Ospina, Di Lorenzo, Ramani, Koulibaly, Ruiz, Unguisa, Fabian, Bordano, Lazinski, Insigne, and up front Osimhen. On the bench for Napoli is Mafella, Meret, Jesus, Marquit, Manolas, Zanoli, Dami, Elmas, Lozano, Mertens, Unas and Patania on the bench for Napoli, and that is your team to play Cagliari today.
Osimhen, who just looks an incredible talent, gets better every time I see him.
Come on, boy!
Free kick won by Anguissa. We just gave that a second to see what developed there was. It seemed a trip there. Yanis, the player who went down in his first head coach role since leaving Torino in February of 2020. Mazzari took the Granata to a 7th place finish in, of course, European qualification in 2019.
Come on, Napoli!
Zappa with the throw-in. Marin with the touch and gets it back again here, the Romanian international. João Pedro.
Go on, Insigne!
Lovely outball that to Insigne, and he has Osimhen in support.
Go on, Osimhen!
As Diego Godin, the company here. Osimhen.
Good hold-up play that from Osimhen, ran the channel under pressure from the defender.
Guys, put your questions in the chat.
Chance of a counter-attack here, but as Nandes playing inside looking for João Pedro. Does eventually reach João Pedro, and they've moved it on.
Come on, Napoli!
Here.
Corner the Cagliari! About 6 minutes played, 0-0.
They look dangerous there, Cagliari.
Yeah, they do. And their wing-backs work ever so hard. Look at Yanis on that left-hand side, tried to get high up the pitch. And it's what they do, Cagliari. They'll try and sit in their slots, in their shape, but they aren't quite quick on the counter to get bodies forward. Wide areas could be key for them.
Talking of what could be key for Cagliari, certainly the man who we just saw in his shot for a second there, João Pedro. You would put in that bracket. Has been involved in 5 goals in his last 5 away league games, 3 goals, 2 assists. And will be critical again.
Corner to be taken.
That's over towards João Pedro.
And it's a goal kick.
I think it has been given us another corner.
Oh, another corner for Cagliari.
It was a flat corner, but 2 Cagliari players went near post, so it was obviously intent on causing a little bit of confusion.
Come on, Napoli, defend.
Five in the box here for Cagliari. Cleared by Osimhen, but not exactly convincing clearance. Caceres had stayed forward and Koulibaly put his head on that.
Koulibaly!
Interesting player. Caceres to watch. He's very combative, likes a 1v1 duel, but very, very hot-headed. Lacks a little bit of discipline. I think it's the type of player that Mazzari might just like. He's very aggressive.
Well, funnily enough, he did actually really praise the spirit of Caceres after the game against Lazio.
Go on, Osimhen!
Exactly what you said, he's the type of player he wants because of that reason.
Go on, Osimhen!
Osimhen.
Go on!
Anguissa.
What's that pass?
He played it blind there. Anguissa, he was hoping that Maran Rui was going to be high up on the left-hand side.
If you guys like the stream, don't forget the thumbs up button, don't forget to like, subscribe if you are new.
Luciano Spalletti, that he feels that there are 7 teams in the running for the Scudetto this season. Says he thinks that they're all on a very similar level too. I hope he's right, because if he is, it's going to be a brilliant season.
What a title race we'll have. I think we've got a cracker anyway.
Come on, boys.
Napoli, remember, with the chance to go back top of the table today. They do have that 100% record. Blitzed both Samp and Udinese already this week. Ramani.
Go on, Osimhen.
Towards Osimhen, he'll be absolutely full of confidence.
Go on, Osimhen. Corner, come on.
Block the cross at the expense of a corner.
Well, that would be a good
Come on, Mario
chance for
Rui.
Osimhen to run into down the side of Godin. Very experienced defender, stays on his feet, but not the quickest anymore.
Forward comes Amir Rahmani. Nibali is up as well, and it's towards
Oh!
And now Cáceres will bring it clear. Chance perhaps to counter here for Cagliari. Godin.
Guys, put your question down in the chat. I'm happy to answer any questions you guys put in front of me. Napoli 0, Cagliari 0. 10 minutes played.
Zielinski. Lovely back heel.
Go on!
Options in the middle.
Oh!
Couldn't pick anyone out in a blue shirt though.
Shame about the final ball. Lovely link up play and understanding on that left hand side with Insigne and Zielinski.
They do look collectively confident though, Napoli. No wonder after the week that they've already had, the season they've had so far. Unbeaten after 6 games if we include the Europa League as well, where they drew 2-2 at Leicester.
Whoa!
It's been a good start from the home side. Very confident and they're not complacent.
Keep pressing, keep pressing.
It was a good end to last season, we shouldn't forget as well. They were unbeaten in their final 9 Serie A games. Osimhen!
Victor Osimhen! Oh, this guy cannot stop scoring. This guy cannot stop scoring. Napoli can't stop scoring. Oh, Osimhen! We're going to win the league. They're going to win the league. Serie A, here we come. Title, here we come. You mate, your title's coming to us. Inter, your title's coming to us as well. You're not getting anywhere near us. Because we've got the guy to beat. Victor Osimhen! Come on, Osimhen, man!
He's a kid that's in form, Osimhen, but it's a lovely run down that channel. Just about keep it alive. Fantastic pullback, and from that range, 4 or 5 yards out, you fancy him to score, but it was all about the run of Zielinski running from deep. He got in behind, he produced the perfect assist. He could easily have gone far post, which would have been the wrong option as Osimhen went near. But you make that run down the sides and in
Come on!
They can be in trouble. Brilliant assist and a fantastic finish from close range.
Victor Osimhen, 1-0 Napoli. Xinjiang back to normal.
Living life in Naples, the Nigerian international.
Come on, boys!
Rather hampered by a shoulder injury, and then he contracted COVID-19 as well. But he's putting the extra work in, says that Luciano Spalletti stops behind Stone with him to do extra work after training, and well, I'm sure that's one of many reasons for the form that he's having at the moment.
Guys, hit the like button in the stream.
Absolutely. And you can see he sort of needs
Show some support. Get this show in the algorithm. Let's get this channel and the subs up, the likes. So let's go, let's go.
From Lille, but you can see the money, I think, has been wisely spent.
João Pedro as Cagliari look to hit back immediately here.
Get it out.
Plenty in the box here for Cagliari.
Well done, Ospina.
Ospina had to punch clear.
That's the feature of Nandez's game. And that right-hand side for them, he's got a trick. He can come inside onto his left foot, he can get to the byline on his right foot and stand a little cross up. Good ball, actually, from Anguissa to find Zielinski. He won't get an assist for that, Anguissa, but it was a lovely little ball down the channel.
Zielinski I love as a player. Patrick Zielinski is such a good player. He doesn't get a lot of credit for what he does because he can do good balls where he needs to and do good assists.
Because of course, we also saw from that Lille side Nicolas Pepe go to Arsenal. I looked up the fees. Arsenal paid Lille £9 million more than Nicola Pepe, the Napoli paid for Victor Osimhen.
Victor Osimhen is not in the same league as Big On. Ah!
He looks the real
They're
deal
both
to
as
me,
good as each
Osimhen.
other. They're
He
both
really
as good as
does.
each other.
Insigne. Zielinski to Mario Rui.
One.
You can see in his Osimhen as well as he's obviously his frame. You know, he runs well. He's got a terrific run and gait. He's great in the air. Scores fantastic goals on the floor and in the air. So he's a real threat. And there's loads of scope for improvement.
Yeah.
Come on now, boy! Put the ball in the box!
It's a great outlet as well for Napoli. If they work it wide, don't be afraid of putting.
I rate him.
Osimhen, the 9th of the week so far for Napoli.
No.
Fabian Ruiz.
Let me have a quick
That at Mario
look,
Rui.
guys, at something. See how well his seasons.
Well, numbers are great, aren't they? If you're a stats man and you're a Napoli fan and you think of the goals conceded column.
Victor Osimhen has played 4 games and scored 4 goals. You can't say that's a good return. 4 goals, 4 games. Good return.
And he's very interesting comments about.
He can play as a striker, as an ST, and he can also play as a centre forward as well, so he can play in either position.
When the player was first suggested as a transfer target by the directors at Napoli, admitted he had doubts about him. But he said, and I quote, I don't know if this was maybe lost in translation, but he called him a splendid lad.
So guys,
does that translate to I've not seen
put you guys in the chat.
But he's did. I mean, we've already seen so far.
Put your questions in. I'll answer all your questions.
Last season in the Premier League, and he's a
Are
real
you having a
good
beer
player.
on me?
He's a
Nah.
little bit inconsistent,
Go on, Osimhen!
but when he's on it, you know, there's a big presence in the middle of the park.
Oh, Osimhen.
He can run for fun. He can go box to box very easily. Just
Oh, for
needs to add a little bit
crying
more
out
consistency to his game.
I might be having one on Wednesday when I have a stream with a special guest. My streams, I've got a mate staying over on Wednesday. So my mate will be on stream with me to do Chelsea versus Juventus in the Champions League. So I might be having a drink then, because it's also not just going to be Chelsea versus. It's not just going to be Chelsea versus Juventus. It's also going to be a birthday stream as well, because it'll be my birthday on the day Chelsea play Juventus. So we'll be having a birthday stream, so it'll be great. I'll be happy.
Koulibaly. His 8th season now with Napoli and streaming forward as
Go on! Go on, Koulibaly! Oh, he tried a back heel and just failed,
Too far for the centre half to try a back heel.
Literally. He's been the centre back that's been on the move for about 10 years, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Koulibaly.
Whoa!
He's managed to get him there, haven't they?
He's incredible. An absolute rock.
I remember Carlo Ancelotti saying that he was one of the best defenders he'd ever worked with, and when Ancelotti says that, Don, you've got to listen. I mean, this is someone who's coached Maldini, Nesta, Cannavaro, Ramos, Thuram, Terry, and he put Koulibaly in that company.
I don't blame him either.
Don't take got mentioned in that sentence? Wow!
Guess who's there?
Koulibaly!
This guy's been at the very top for the last 5 or 6 years, I think, Koulibaly. Doesn't matter. The bracket
Guys,
players, the Van Dijks.
Put down your question. Put down your.
Across Europe. Skriniar's another one.
Put down any questions you want to put down towards me. I'll answer any questions you guys want to put.
Probably just about
In the
best.
Women's Super League, it is Arsenal Women's 3, Man City Women's 0.
Sarah's trying to make something of it. Maybe another corner.
Niedermar, Little and McCabe with the goal for Arsenal Women's today.
Kicks and corners, Cagliari. If we could try and win the first header and try and keep it alive.
At the moment in League 1, it is Lens 1, Marseille 0.
Remember Godin playing in Diego Simeone's Atletico Madrid side, where they could forcefully put across a point as he was doing there.
There's the man I was talking about. Caceres is always in the referee's face.
Don't much it, no question here.
13 major club honours. He's won Serie A 6 times. To get on the end of that as well. He's also won La Liga and the Champions League, we shouldn't forget as well. There is a lot of experience that's been brought into this side tonight by Walter Mazzarri. There already was experience from the last 11, but the likes of Godin and Caceres and Strootman all brought
Come
into
on,
the team
Napoli!
this evening.
Well, it just depends on how he sees it, Mazzarri, but he's got a good squad to work with. Good
Oh, that's a ball!
in good form.
Mario Rui with the ball of the century!
On the bench. Nandez, I've mentioned.
He's running! Oh, if Mario Rui would have scored, I think I would actually have a shot of Jack Daniels if he did it. But he won't score.
Anguissa. Mario Rui. Recently made his 100th league appearance for Napoli, Mario Rui. Luciano Spalletti's arrival really seems to have reignited his enthusiasm.
So everyone,
Mazzarri will want a little bit more
right,
at the 20-minute
if you
mark.
guys dislike the stream, come on the stream. Tell me why you dislike it. But I don't know what I'm doing wrong. What I'm doing wrong.
Good idea from Koulibaly, acknowledged by the captain Insigne.
That should be a good battle worth keeping an eye on. João Pedro and Koulibaly.
He's looking good, isn't he, Spalletti, for 62? I hope I'm in that good a shape. I'm not in that good a shape now. Never mind when I'm 62. Had a bit of time off, I guess, hasn't he? To work on his figure.
Legend of Napoli. Ah, the legend of Napoli didn't sing you.
He'll work on this side. He'll definitely improve.
And if you guys don't know, the guy has gone through Napoli's academy, and he's also was born in Naples.
Caceres.
The only club he's ever played for is Napoli. So you can tell.
Stroke.
He's like a John Terry-like figure. That's like, he'll show blood, sweat and tears for the club.
I was going to say, I thought that was a foul. Looked like a push in the back.
Free kick to Napoli. Still 1-0.
Definite foul. João Pedro.
It's been a great game so far. Ebbing and flowing, everything's going superbly well.
Comfortable list for Napoli.
I will be keeping an eye out, seeing what games are going to be live
You want to try and protect and not go too behind.
in the upcoming week.
Good players' time on the ball. That's dangerous.
See what's up for next weekend. So hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream.
Was done there for skill, wasn't he?
Nandez used to be.
But I will be doing Chelsea. I'll be trying. I don't know if I'm going to do it. Saturday coming up, Chelsea versus Southampton. I'll try my best to try and do that game if I can.
Champions League, so looking forward to these matches. Manchester City head to the French capital to take on Paris Saint-Germain. BT Sport 2 Tuesday night at 7 for that. And then we're back in Italy in Turin as Chelsea visit Juventus.
Yeah, come on the mighty Blues. Come on Chelsea.
BT Sport
Chelsea
2.
better beat Juventus.
They are
I got
certainly
confidence in
two
the
games you do not want to miss.
And also it's on my birthday, so it can be quite an omen. It can be Chelsea number 1 on my birthday, so.
They really are building on that good end to last season. Napoli unbeaten in their final 9 league games of last season.
Come on, Napoli! Oh, see, man, unlucky.
The 6th league win of the season. This evening, here's Liko Yanis, trapped by Anguissa.
If you guys want to put any questions down in my pretend, 20 questions you guys put in front of me, it's Napoli 0, Napoli 1, Cagliari 0. Ossie man going on his own. Ossie man. Oh!
Got the shot in.
Unlucky Osimhen.
James Horncastle saying,
Or if you're a stupid commentator, Osimhen.
there's a mixture of so many different players.
Yeah, because there's one stupid commentator called him Osimhen. It's Osimhen, not Osimhen. Thank you very much for the like, I appreciate it. That could hurt.
Koulibaly.
Oi, ref! Ref! How is that not a foul?
Godin.
How is that not a foul on Koulibaly? How? How?
Could hardly be a greater contrast between the form of these two clubs. Cagliari have now gone 8 league games without a win, 4 draws, 4 defeats since they beat Benevento on the 9th of May.
Are you sure Derek Ray ain't commentating?
that win was their only...
I would only say, if Derek Ray was commentating on this game, then most of the players, he wouldn't get their names right. He wouldn't get their names right.
Yeah, they were desperately unlucky against Lazio. When I seen them a couple of weeks back, Mazzari's first game, how they didn't win that game, I'll never know. That would have took them outside the bottom 3. It would have given them a little bit of confidence.
Come on. Oh. Free kick, well done, ref.
Politano by Nico Yanis.
Wait about 25 minutes, still 1-0 Napoli.
There's a lot said, understandably, about how many goals Napoli are scoring right now, but their defensive solidity has rather gone under the radar a bit. They've only conceded twice in their first 5 league games. 3 clean sheets in there. That, as the season goes on, presuming they can retain that level of defensive solidity, that will count for a lot and carry them a long way, won't it?
Come on, boys.
I'm pretty sure if those stats say the same towards the end of the season, and you're conceding 0.4 a game.
Go on, Fabian.
Well, they've got the ability to score against anyone.
Fabian Ruiz.
Oi, ref.
There as he was about to pull.
How is that not a foul?
I can understand it, asking the question there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he took a little bit of the turf, or there was a tackle from behind. Definitely worth an appeal.
Come on, boys.
Saying Mazzaria was asked what had attracted him to Cagliari. Talked about a working relationship as he comes into.
Osimhen!
He's saying how well he knew the
Call it.
Tommaso.
Come on, boys.
And of course, the history of the club, the responsibility that comes with managing Cagliari, really, as he put it, fired up the adrenaline. And I think in the medium term, his ambition is to get them thinking maybe up towards the European places, but in the here and now, just got to find a way back into this game. Napoli very much in control. That doesn't reach Insigne though.
How do you do a shit corner? You can't even beat the first man. Go on!
Di Lorenzo with the pass.
Go on, Aguisa. Aguisa! Ah! It's not right ball in the box, but not good enough. Not good enough.
Second goal. Cagliari not offering too much going forward. There was a shot of Mazzari a minute ago going ballistic at Cranio, the goal kick, because he wanted him to go long from the goal kick and hit Cal Pedro and try and play from there. And Napoli played it, Cagliari played it short, played it with Diego Godin, who then gave a cheap goal. Got Cagliari back under pressure. They might have to simplify their game a little bit.
Come on, Napoli, keep working. Napoli have a free kick, 28 minutes played.
So a little under half an hour gone in Naples. Osimhen's goal. And 6th in 4 games, the difference between the two sides.
You mean the legend that is Victor Osimhen?
Napoli seek a second.
Osimhen, oh! Unlucky.
Divert it on target.
Half a chance. Good
Unlucky
goal.
Osimhen.
Enough threats in there.
Anguissa was in there, Osimhen, Koulibaly. His jump was good.
Come on, boys, just keep going.
Go a little bit longer. Good out ball, that.
Insigne. Look at this run here from
Go on, Anguissa! Oh!
Was urged to carry on as well by the home supporters.
I think he should have shot. It was on his right foot. The weight of pass into Anguissa was perfect. It was there for him to strike it first time. Just tried a little trick.
I'm
not
okay.
sure was on.
Keep going. Second goal will arrive soon.
Ramani for their third home league win of the season here. Napoli already beaten Venezia and Juventus. They took 40 points from 57 at home last season.
Well, in territorial now, Cagliari are getting pushed back. And I imagine Mazzari will want his team 15-20 yards higher.
Come on!
It's just too easy at the moment for Napoli. See how much room every player wearing blue's got under no pressure.
Oh, this is good football. Oh, this is good football. Oh, this is good football. Oh. Good shot, Fabian.
He wins it back. Fabian Ruiz and Mario Rui with the cross. And Insigne was waiting there, wasn't it?
Hanging on now, Cagliari. At this point in the game, at half an hour, I feel as though they're hanging on. It might just be inevitable. But Napoli create more chances.
How's that a foul?
Caceres is making another point forcefully to the referee.
He almost operates on a siege mentality, Caceres. That's how he plays his game. It's like he needs it to kick off, so he gets the adrenaline and gets himself going.
Hello, Denver. How are you doing?
Cagliari's fifth Serie A club, Martin Caceres. Pressure being applied by Zielinski, but retained by Cagliari.
Now they must keep hold of the ball. Now they're in a good position.
Koyanis with the ambitious crossfield pass.
A point in the game when you've suffered a lot without the ball. Koyanis there has just got to make sure he keeps the ball for his team. He's keep it for his teammates. Realise that work that they've been putting in midfield. Don't give the ball away cheaply.
Well done, Osimhen.
Great flick back from Osimhen, and he's off.
Very good, Jam. How are you? I'm doing all right. Napoli are winning 1-0. Victor Osimhen with the goal. Very good finish. Napoli are dominating this game. And I could see a second coming soon. Or any time. It'll just be a matter of time before a second goal does come.
And it's Lorenzo Insigne.
Stop shooting from range.
Anguissa to Fabian Ruiz.
That's relentless now, isn't it? The pressure.
Can't really get out for any length of time, Cagliari. Spin on the ball, took it away from Insigne.
Two options in this scenario. Now they go really long, hit a channel ball and get your team further up the pitch. Or try and play your way out of trouble. Bit of self-homework, I think, for me after the game. I'm going to look at who Osimhen reminds me of, rolling back the years.
Well, they've had, even if you just look over the last decade, I mean, two names in particular spring to mind with Higuain and, of course, Cavani. They love a centre forward in Naples, don't they? Love a talismanic hero.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the frame of him and his run and gait. Quite slim, very good in the air, quick over the ground.
Also, one of those men in particular, it didn't exactly end well, did it? In Naples, they ended up making toilet paper with his face on it when he went to Juventus. Higuain. Being sold on the streets of Naples. Here's Insigne. They've walked through the gears here. And won it back. You know it's not been a happy ending when that happens.
No, that's, yeah. I was at Valencia a couple of years ago for the Arsenal game, and I love how sort of certain teams have a little bit of tradition, and there's a little tradition at Valencia where if you're a superstar at that football club and you end up leaving a little bit controversial, in one of the lounges they still keep your photo on the wall, but they turn you upside down. So they don't actually get rid of you, they just turn you upside down.
I thought you were going to say turned it around. 10 to go in the first half.
And that is an atmosphere, isn't it, the Mestalla?
You get all the best insight from us too.
Yeah, well, it's only when you get to the ground, so hopefully the bosses are listening and we need to go to Naples.
Is Di Lorenzo.
Got a bit of culture. And as a kid, I was a Maradona fan and always will be. That's why I'm a little bit stubborn when we talk about Messi and we talk about Ronaldo and the best players of all time. Maradona for me.
And who this stadium is of course now named after, as Di Lorenzo looks for Politano.
Oh, unlucky!
He was there for Cagliari.
Keep going!
Osimhen tries to win it and
Going on!
hits it, and it's been spilt by Cranio, but Osimhen didn't quite get there.
Well, they need to find a way now, Cagliari, of getting back into this game. They might just think about playing the clock and thinking, right, can we get to half-time? Just 1-0 down. Give the manager a chance to deliver a team talk to change things in the second half.
More Serie A live action coming up for you tomorrow night. Venezia, newly promoted, up against Torino. BT Sport 1 from 7:45. And I should as well point you in the direction of a big boxing match. Final fight in the trilogy, Fury Wilder 3, Saturday the 9th of October, live on Box Office. Anguissa. Corner to Napoli. Delivery, and Cranio claims it.
Oh, for God's sake!
Koulibaly, who had every right to go for it.
He's a good goalkeeper, Cranio, very safe pair of hands, commands his box quite well. See there, one pass they had there, Cagliari, and they give the ball straight back to Napoli. That has to improve.
They've not kept it well enough at all, have they? Insigne to Osimhen. I think the only concern here, Don, for Luciano Spalletti will be that for all their dominance, Napoli have not been able to add to that solitary goal just yet.
Yeah, I agree. At the same time, I think they'll be confident in the performance that his men are putting in and the lack of performance that Cagliari are putting in. And as you said, Adam, when the scoreline's at 1, they've always got a chance of getting back into the game, but Napoli, at this present time, are very comfortable.
Come on, we need to get a second!
There's no real rhythm to the way Cagliari are playing. Not really a possession-based team. You think at some point they might go a little bit more simplistic and give João Pedro a little bit more service.
But they've got to get him into the game, haven't they?
Yeah.
It's so important to them.
Strootman can get goals from midfield.
Could get him into the game here. Pedro up against Romani. It was Mario Rui with a really good defensive header. It was Nandez arriving.
That's a foul.
Confidence, lovely turn and clear foul by Naitan Nandez.
Well, that was so much better from Cagliari. They worked half a dozen passes, worked their way up the left-hand side, and look at Yanis just put a really good cross into the 18-yard box. That's what they have to do more, work in these sort of areas now, get runners into the 18-yard box.
They certainly are still, understandably, getting used to a new head coach, Cagliari, and the demands of Walter Mazzarri. The way of playing will be different to Leonardo Semplici, who was sacked after 1 point from the first 3 games. I have to say, though, he performed a bit of a miracle to steer them to safety last season, got 21 points in 15 games, but they'd managed just 16 in 23 before his appointment, so I think overall he can look back on a job pretty well done, actually, the way he kept them up last season, but a change they felt was needed.
Stop fouling.
Not really too much in that.
Start Napoli have made has got people talking about a first Scudetto since 1990. But I guess Spalletti's first priority will be a return to the Champions League, which won't be easy. So much competition in that respect. Finished last season 1 point behind Juventus, who claimed the final place by finishing 4th. Osimhen, Insigne has made a good run.
Okay, good ball.
Lukiewicz with the header clear.
They've been here a few times before, Napoli, though, haven't they, when they've got off to a good start. Got some difficult fixtures coming up, Fiorentina, Torino and Roma. It's a season where if you put a good run together, as it stands at the moment, they're sitting top of the league. Wide open this season.
Zappa. Nandez plays inside to Kevin Stroke. Politano. Have finished outside of the top 4 in each of the last 2 seasons. Napoli 5th and 7th. That's finished in the Champions League positions in 2019 when they came 2nd.
Well, boys!
Again was the player arriving, but it's calm once more from Mario Rui.
Brilliant defending that from Mario Rui. Yeah, eyes on the cross.
42 minutes played, Napoli 1, Cagliari 0.
Chest back to Spina. That was their year, wasn't it? A few years back. The man on the ball, Koulibaly, scored a bullet header against Juve. That was their big chance. Performed so well that season. Napoli came very close.
Yeah, I remember that night, commentated on that game, on that goal. And I remember the celebrations in Naples afterwards as well. It was almost like they'd already won the league. And of course, we all know what happened after that. It was an incredible night, that. Some header as well from Koulibaly.
Oh, incredible.
Just remember seeing pictures of Naples almost lit up in reds and blues with the fireworks show that went on that night. They partied well into the night after beating Juventus. Well, they didn't have the last laugh that particular season. This is a campaign that is started with great promise. Di Lorenzo a long way forward, and he's won a corner.
Corner, come on, boys!
Of this first half.
Concentration time now for Cagliari. A couple of minutes just before half-time. It wouldn't be the end of the world if they went in at half-time 1 behind. Whatever you do, do not concede at this point, because this is a long way back. If they go in at 2 down. So make sure you're disciplined, you stay with your markers, and go and attack the ball coming in. Be brave.
Needs his side to be switched on here, Mazzarri, as we head towards half-time. Still just the 1 goal in it.
Come on. Oh, for God's sake. That was going to go nowhere.
Josh Zielinski. He's not getting much change out of Koulibaly so far, João Pedro.
Oh, not many do. The service has to improve into him though. Got to be brave if you're a wide man or midfield player playing for Cagliari. Give him a chance. Put balls in at his feet or in around his chest area.
Come on.
Added time approaching. Osimhen has been brought back to defend this set piece. So no time for added time at the end of the first half. Napoli really have bossed it in terms of possession. Cagliari have created precious little, but Napoli have just the one goal to show for it. Victor Osimhen's fourth goal in the league so far this season is the difference between the two sides, as the president De Laurentiis watches on in Naples. At half-time then, Napoli 1, Cagliari 0.
Half-time, Napoli 1, Cagliari 0 at half-time. I'll see you guys in about a few minutes. Just got to go and do a few things, so I'll see you guys in a bit. just about to come on for the second half, just in time for you guys.
We've also seen Keita warming up for Cagliari. Someone who perhaps, very good on the break.
I just want to have myself a clean shave, guys.
2-2 draw that in Mazzarri's first game against Lazio. So certainly I think he would give them some options on the counter-attack. Certainly got pace to cause Napoli more problems than Cagliari have been posing them so far.
Yeah. But so far a measured success then for Napoli, but one that does give them the lead if it remains this way in Serie A again. 2 points clear of Milan, who are off to a phenomenal start themselves. Milan will be seeing in action in next Sunday's Golazzo Live, when they'll be taking on Atalanta, and if that doesn't sound like a particularly appetising fixture, then you probably watch.
Hello everyone, I am back.
Speaking of things coming up,
If you guys dislike the stream, come on the stream and tell me why you dislike the stream.
We'll be back with you on Tuesday and Wednesday with the Goal Show in the company of our pals Julian Laurens and Raphael Honigstein, bringing you all the goals from match day 2 of this Champions League group stage as they happen, or as soon as possible after. Brilliant. Anyway, all the goals, such as they may be, from the second half of the Diego Armando Maradona, coming to you now in the company of Don Hodgson and again Adam Summerton.
Thanks, James. As James points out, Napoli here with the chance to go back top of the table would go above AC Milan and continue this 100% start to the season. You can't help but think what it would be like in Naples if they could win a first Scudetto since 1990. And I was just recalling a famous story from when they won their first Scudetto off air with Don back in 1987, when famously there was a banner left on the walls of the city cemetery after they won their first Scudetto that said, "You don't know what you missed." It would be one heck of a party, wouldn't it, if they could win another Scudetto. A long way to go, but the early signs are very good for them.
Yeah, they'll have confidence going in at half-time with a goal lead. I think Spalletti will try and get the foot down in the second half, and he'll want his side to get the second as quick as possible. I can't imagine Mazzarri would have been a happy man in his team talk at half-time, so Cagliari need to do more.
Napoli gets on, Cagliari gets on the way for the second half. Napoli 1, Cagliari 0.
Politano's made the run down the right, goes inside instead here. Mario Rui and continues.
Oh!
It was dealt with and cleared by Strootman. Insigne, Osimhen. And Di Lorenzo.
Whoa!
Politano.
Come on, Napoli!
Fabian Ruiz. Zielinski. Anguissa. Di Lorenzo.
Up at the box! Oh!
It's cleared by Deola.
There's no pressure on the ball whatsoever. Jean Pedro playing up front for Cagliari. He's playing up there on his own, really, being completely exposed. There's no one near him. He has to have a game plan, Mazzarri, in that team talk at half-time. Whether it's looking at the bench of Pavoletti or Keita Balde, maybe saying to them, get ready on the hour mark. If things don't turn around on the pitch, I'm going to change it. But the 11 that's on the pitch for Cagliari, they need to be more aggressive.
I remember the famous 3-4-3 setup that he had at Napoli with players like Lavezzi and Hamšík and Cavani. Not the same level of ability, perhaps. I don't think it's unkind to say that about this Cagliari squad that he's inherited. He's somebody who's coached 5 of the current Serie A clubs now. Mazzarri, Samp, Napoli, Inter, Torino, of course Cagliari. Vastly experienced, well, 2 very experienced coaches tonight.
It gets to the point though, when you're a player and you're looking for a little bit of direction, it gets to a point where you look towards the coach and you would have asked him 1 or 2 questions at half time. What's the plan? What we're going to do different? You have to show something, but it starts by closing Napoli down, playing higher up the pitch, being more aggressive.
Go deep.
Too deep in my opinion. This is where
Come on,
they
Napoli!
don't really want to be unless they can pass into midfield and play it from the back.
Come on, Napoli! Let's see if we can get a second in this game.
Cáceres. Nicoyanis. Godin.
Come on! Well done, Di Lorenzo.
Fabian Ruiz, who's famously scouted for Napoli by Davide Ancelotti, son of Carlo, who happened to... His girlfriend was living in Seville, and with Fabian Ruiz playing at Real Betis, it meant he got to go and see him regularly. Yanis with the shot well off target. Funny how moves come about sometimes, isn't it? I wonder if he'd have gone to watch him so often if he didn't have a girlfriend in Seville.
Come on, Napoli!
Just thinking back to the Lazio game, Mazzari's first game, and they played really well, and Razvan Marin had an unbelievable assist in that game. Diaiola was on fire. I've not mentioned those two at all in the first 45 minutes. And it's an easy conversation between player and manager, what they should do at half-time, and as I said before, the easy fix for Cagliari is getting higher up the pitch, getting their back three, their midfield especially on the halfway line, and then the distances from then all become a little bit smaller. You can see now the pitch being really big. You see Koulibaly's got time on the ball.
Guys, if you like the stream, with the thumbs up button, don't forget to like, sub and subscribe if you are new.
It's an easy fix to step 10 yards into Napoli and stop them from playing. Just put them under a little bit of duress.
Politano. Di Lorenzo showing down the line. Anguissa always makes himself available. Di Lorenzo.
You know, these distances to the naked eye might not look much, but to a professional player, you give someone 5 yards. That's acres of space.
Osimhen. Mario Rui. Lorenzo Insigne.
Come on! Oh, corner!
Be a corner.
I just feel it's inevitable now that Napoli are pushing for that second goal. And they're quite a big side, Napoli, as well.
The likes of Ramani, Koulibaly, Osimhen, Di Lorenzo, all in there.
Come on, someone in blue, get head onto
At
it.
the back post as well.
Oh,
Politano.
Politano unlucky.
One of the hardest skills to produce that. Politano, ball from Insigne, drilled right out towards the edge of the box, trying to take it on the half volley. High tariff effort.
Just wonder whether there will now be a bit of stability in Naples. You never know with this club and the president, De Laurentiis. But Spalletti is their third coach since Sarri left in the summer of 2018. First Ancelotti, then Gattuso, now Spalletti. Spalletti's actually coached now 7 of the 20 Serie A clubs. Closing in on 500 Serie A games as a manager. His side with defending to do for once, though, as Di Lorenzo got it clear.
Come on, defend!
Nandes.
I think what he is, Spalletti's a proactive manager. If he sees any signs of Cagliari getting back into this game, he will look to his bench to change things.
Go on, Osimhen!
Lozano.
Fantastic strength and drive from Osimhen. Bouncing off.
Osimhen! Oh, lucky! Oh,
He is a real handful.
It's incredible. Got so much
unlucky, Osimhen. Well
self-confidence.
done.
Bounced off a couple of players, had the strength to then carry on, produce the shot. Yeah, he's got Chucky Lozano and Dries Mertens on the bench. Spalletti, if he thinks there's any sign, Napoli Cagliari getting back into this game.
Koulibaly.
Come on, Napoli!
This Cagliari's 6th campaign running in Serie A. They were promoted, you may recall, as Serie B champions in 2016, but lower mid-table finishes have become the norm. Since being promoted, they've been 11th, 16th, 15th, 14th and 16th. I think Matsari said that his dream in the long term is to push forward, look to become a club that challenges for the European places, but you get the feeling that perhaps it is going to be survival again is the first priority for Cagliari this season.
Oh, absolutely. That is very optimistic as it stands. Cagliari getting anywhere near European spots. First port of call always is getting out the bottom three.
Koulibaly loves to stride forward.
Come on,
like
Napoli!
this.
Go on, Koulibaly!
Mario Rui was too close to comfort, really, for Cagliari last season. In terms of the relegation battle, they finished 4 points clear of the relegation zone. I think to avoid another near miss, they're going to have to find more routes to goal. Only 3 Serie A clubs scored fewer goals last season, and 2 of them, Parma and Benevento, went down. The other was Udinese. They've not really threatened Napoli at all so far tonight.
No, I think it might be a case of giving Keita Balde a run in the team and giving him half a dozen games, trying to get him up to speed. Have a partnership with João Pedro alongside him. Might become a change of shape for Cagliari. We'll have to wait and see. Understand what they're trying to do with numbers in a back five, trying to keep clean sheets.
Oh, great turn.
Go on!
Cement holding off Godin.
Aye!
Has got to be a penalty.
Penalty! Get in!
Easiest decisions
Get in,
he'll make all
Osimhen!
season.
Penalty!
Osimhen showed such fantastic strength to hold off Godin, who then, for such an experienced player, was so rash in the challenge.
That's a tackle you make when you're coming towards the end of your career. He wouldn't have made this mistake, Godin, 5 years ago. He got bullied off Osimhen and then he got sucked into a little trick. He's got no real hope of winning the ball there. It's a definite penalty. It's a cheap penalty as well. He shouldn't be giving that away. All he has to do is stay on his feet. Osimhen really, in that situation, going nowhere.
Surely Matsari can't be complaining.
No, I think he's looking at Diego Godin and thinking, this guy is one of the world's very best, and he's coming towards the end of his career, and you make those sort of mistakes.
So it's
Come on, Lorenzo!
Insigne, the local boy,
Lorenzo Insigne from the penalty
spied
spot.
by the president as a symbol of Napoli. Can he double their lead here?
Yes! Lorenzo Insigne! It's 2-0! Come on! Ha 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 ha!
And it's Napoli's 10th
Come
goal
on!
in the space of a week. There's no
10 goals in a week, 3 games, 10 goals. Come on, Napoli!
Ever in doubt.
Lorenzo Insigne! Insigne!
Brilliant technique.
Insigne!
Great from Osimhen as well.
Insigne!
And he fires it into the top corner. Goalkeeper Canio actually got a hand to it.
Come on, boys!
That you feel could be the killer goal in the game though.
sheer power did that. Very
Get in 2-0!
His 10th season in the first team. His current contract actually expires in June. They'll be desperate to keep hold of it. But this situation right now looks desperate for Matsari and Cagliari.
Totally agree. That would have been his team talk at half-time to the Cagliari players. Let's get back into the game. Let's get the next goal in the game, because you know the second one is always the most important goal in the game. And get it back to 1-1.
What?
And even stay at 1-0, you've got a chance at 2-0. It's a long way back.
What's going on?
Sure, there's a communication something going on here. Struck them.
Go on, Napoli. Get some more goals.
Armani, Fabian Ruiz. Gets it back again off Zielinski. Napoli in full flow, Zielinski. Oh, he's done brilliantly there. And Insigne's
Oh, that would have been some goal. That would have been say. Well, the ref.
And a yellow card produced here.
If I was not a bucket, I would have known what.
I was just about to say, before Malakevic's yellow card, they've got to make sure at this point now, Cagliari, they keep their heads. They don't show a lack of discipline.
Foul on his fellow Polish international, Zielinski. We've had almost an hour here, and Napoli look in total control. I have to say that Cagliari, from the word go, haven't looked to me like a side who ever believed they could get anything from here. I don't know if that's harsh, Donald.
No, I think you're absolutely spot on. The performance against Lazio, they come out.
Free kick to Napoli. Half an hour to go.
Napoli a little bit too much. I think Mazzari, in hindsight, could have made a change at half time, because nothing's really changed.
Hungry for more goals, Napoli.
Oh, okay, straight to keeper.
Alessio Cagno.
Yeah, it's a movie we've seen before. And Mazzari, at this point, being 2-0 down, will probably make a change and try and get back into the game. Do that at 1-0 down. Don't wait till you go 2 down.
It's Di Lorenzo who's stayed down here. Interesting to see that again. I have to say, in full speed, there did look to be a great deal in that, but he does seem to have recovered quickly, Di Lorenzo. Caceres with the crossfield pass. Viola with the header, but it's never going to trouble Ospina. Napoli now unbeaten in 13 Serie A home games. They've won 10 of those. Spezia, the last side to beat them at home in Serie A. That was back on the 6th of January, a 2-1 defeat. Well on their way to another home win this evening.
All the stats at half-time are right against Cagliari. 60-40 possession, no attempts on target, 126 passes to Napoli's 335. That's why I think at that point, 1-0 down, Mazzari make a change, be a bit more aggressive, give the players, I think, on the pitch something to cling on to.
Osimhen beaten in the air by Godin. It seemed to leave a little bit on Osimhen there. It was firm, it was robust from the veteran Diego Godin.
That's what you want to see at 0-0 and 1-0 down. As long as they're not going over the top. I think that's a good header. He's caught Osimhen, I think was accidental.
Come on, Napoli!
Appear to be someone who'd shirt the physical side of the game. Osimhen, in fact, he seems to positively embrace it.
I'm not sure regarding stats-wise if Osimhen gets an assist for the penalty. I'm not sure.
He's certainly racking up the goals, isn't he? 6 in 4 games. There's still another half an hour to go here if he includes the inevitable added time. Mario Rui. Anguissa. He's done really well there.
Oh!
Great confidence. Mario Rui to Insigne. Oh, Zielinski out of his feet.
Oh!
Dragged it wide.
Oh, third's coming.
Should have buried that. Zielinski unlucky.
From the pitch, no.
Petrovic Zielinski unlucky.
As it stands, Cagliari are done. And Gisa's trying tricks and they're coming off. Just trying to work it onto the edge of the box, try and get a strike away. Zielinski just snatches at that.
Should have took time. If you took your time and looked properly, it would have been
Really
3-0.
For me, Don, the difference that a player like Anguissa is having in this Napoli midfield, it just gives them something extra. I think his attitude, the way he's bought into as well, what Spalletti wants from him is...
Oh, Seaman's just running, man. That guy
You
look.
ask him to do something and he'll be keen to do it. Doesn't necessarily ask why, or he just wants to get...
Hi,
back
True
towards the
Lion, how are
ball.
you?
I think he sees him ultimately as being a box-to-box midfielder. He could get more out of him in terms of energy and legs.
Yeah, I think that's his best position as well. I don't think he's a natural sitter.
2-0 already, 2-0 up on against Cagliari. It's been a very good game. Could be a lot more goals coming.
Get some assists, get the odd goal. I think he's a player that likes to take information on. I don't think the coach's words will get lost on Frank Anguissa. Space are becoming huge now in that middle of the midfield.
Come on. Oh, Fabian. Unlucky. Well done.
Fabian Ruiz, Zielinski is central. Here's Politano, Di Lorenzo. Politano,
Put it in the box.
Di Lorenzo.
Oh! What's he meant?
Zielinski. They
Oi!
overplayed it. Yellow cards for simulation there for Osimhen.
Don't mind that from the referee. I think he's claiming that his arm got pulled. Didn't see that in real time.
Yeah, unlike yesterday, yeah.
Tried a little 1-2. No, there's nothing in that. That's a dive.
Of course, he got sent off, didn't he, at the start of the season, Osimhen, and maybe the captain Insigne was wise to lead him away there.
Come on, boys!
Don't want to lose him to a suspension.
And this could be Spalletti's dream, really. If they get the next goal in the game at 3, I would imagine he might even take him off. It's looking good as it stands for Napoli fans, though. Top of the league. 6 from 6, absolutely flying. What a start.
He's won 7 major honours as a head coach, Spalletti, 3 with Roma and 4 with Zenit. 2 lower league promotions as well with Empoli. In fact, he's actually the last coach to win a major honour at Roma. That was the Coppa Italia in 2008. He was twice named Serie A Coach of the Year in his first spell with the Giallorossi. And what he will deliver during his time in Naples.
How is everyone enjoying the stream? Like, subscribe, subscribe if you are
So many
new.
clubs having a truly remarkable, memorable season, and Napoli is certainly one of those sides.
Come on.
It'll be fascinating to see it all unfold. Insigne, Mario Rui, Anguissa.
Arsenal 3, Tottenham 1-4.
Off the head of Caceres.
Spurs, rubbish.
It's going to be absolutely fascinating to see.
Arsenal not had a good start to the season. Win a couple of games. And then somehow,
this is a change, I think,
out of miracles, going to be Arsenal 3-1.
Chucky Lozano.
No one would have expected that.
For Napoli, but Keita Balde and Cepitelli are the players who will come on here for Cagliari. Deola is one of those being withdrawn. Keita Balde, Senegal international, spent last season on loan with Samp from Monaco, signed this summer by Cagliari. Eljif Elmas is going to come on too, and it's
Politano's coming off for Lozano and Zielinski coming off for Elmas.
Lozano and Elmas.
Zielinski's a good player.
Di Lorenzo to take the throw.
Come on, Napoli, let's see if we can get a third.
Ongisa.
Oh!
Great drive again. Elmas.
It's a fantastic second half. Frank Ongisa is growing in confidence.
Fabian Ruiz.
Oh!
Heel.
Oh! Oh!
Senior was. And Ongisa.
Oh!
And he wasn't far away.
Nearly
at all
3-0
there.
there.
Really good hit. On his left foot,
Unlucky.
into the box. You see him just lurking and comes out to him. Great snapshot, inches wide. He is really, really close there to find in the bottom corner. Super hit.
And he's still only 25. Ongisa. But he's already played, you know, in 4 of the top 5 European leagues. Only the Bundesliga left for him to visit. And at Marseille and Fulham and Villarreal, there is an option to buy in terms of the loan from Fulham for Napoli. I think they might want to exercise that option to buy on this evidence.
Yeah, just depending on what the fee is, but he looks a real player, doesn't he? I've seen a lot of him commentating on Fulham last season.
He looks a far better player in Serie A and at Napoli than he did arguably in the Premier League with Fulham.
Yeah,
Very different circumstance.
Well, I was going to say, yeah, it's difficult to try and judge a player when you see a player who's in the bottom 3. And Fulham were playing fantastic football, but just couldn't really buy a win. And you put him in a top side, he improves.
Yanis with the cross. Koulibaly with the
Well done,
head.
Koulibaly!
We move into the final 20 minutes in Naples.
Thank you very much for the likes. Guys, I really appreciate it. Like and subscribe if you are new. It's Napoli 2, Cagliari 0.
It's been relatively
20
quiet
minutes to go.
tonight, the Romanian international.
Very. For such a good player.
Just not really influenced the game. You could say that of pretty much everyone in a Cagliari shirt though, really.
Yeah, I think when Walter Mazzari and his analysts look at this game in the coming days, I think they got it wrong in terms of where they've been territorially, really from the off. They've been far too deep.
Go on!
Ongisa.
Go on, Ongisa!
And he continues his stride forward. Mario Rui. Ongisa. Elmas. Lozano. Bounce off Elmas and through to Kranja.
Come on, boys!
Just a fraction offside, just went a little bit early there.
Certainly is a fixture that Napoli have had much the better of over the years. Cagliari have only won 1 of the last 22 meetings. 15 Napoli wins in that time, and they're well on their way to another one here. 10 goals already this week for Napoli. We've still not seen their top scorer, or the club's record goal scorer, Dries Mertens, fit yet this season. He's on the bench tonight. Wonder whether we'll see him before the night is over.
Go on, Osimhen!
Osimhen.
I think Mazzari needs a little bit of time on the training ground to work with these players, and you can only imagine if they are going to get out of the bottom 3, he's going to have to pride this team on keeping clean sheets.
Oh, great ball.
Oh!
Couldn't quite
Got stuck under his
take it in
feet.
stride.
Should have took it in his stride as well. What a ball from Insigne.
Got the ball stuck under his feet,
He's
unlucky.
better in European football at that type of pass than Insigne.
It's the positions that he picks up. He starts almost on a sort of left-sided position, but he wanders into central midfield, just here on the ball, just on the left-hand side from out to in. He's a nightmare to try and mark. But you get the feeling if Napoli want the third, it's there for them. Depends on how they see the game. They can keep it at 2. Go down the gears a little bit. Keep possession. You feel as though if
Come
they
on,
want
guys,
more
if
goals,
you want
they can
to
get them.
put some questions in the chat, I'm happy to answer any questions guys put in front of me.
This was very
Like,
slow to
some
react
subscribe
there.
if you are
Kick it off
new.
as well, that's poor.
Lozano.
Ah,
His attitude was poor there, Caceres.
Volley clearance by Koulibaly. Struck.
At the present time, you watch the patterns of play from Cagliari, and they're not sure really what they're doing. They're not sure if they're a possession team or a long ball team. They're caught in between two. There's nothing wrong at times with going a little bit direct. They've not kept the ball well at all.
Elmas. Serie A will surely be Napoli's primary objective this season, but they do find themselves in a competitive Europa League group too. Here's Elmas. Osimhen just beaten to it. The likes of Leicester, Legia Warsaw, Spartak Moscow in that Europa League group. They drew 2-2 at the King Power on match day 1. They host Spartak Moscow this coming Thursday.
Well, Spalletti's seen enough. He's thinking about making a change. Not happy with something.
Marin was cynically brought down by Elmas, who is shown the yellow card by the referee Marco Piccinini.
That's definitely a yellow card.
On a quarter of an hour in Naples. Don's hit the nail on the head when he says that man's got a lot of work to do on the training grounds. So Victor Osimhen to be withdrawn. Get a bit of a rest ahead of the European game on Thursday. And it's Andrea Petagna who will come on to replace him.
Osimhen's coming on and Petagna is coming on.
Fantastic goal that he scored. It's been excellent when he's had the ball at his feet. He's been strong. Got the penalty for Napoli's second goal. Star performer.
And Insigne is coming off, and Adam Unas is coming on.
Unas to come on as well, with Insigne, the captain, making way.
Insigne!
Unas, formerly of Cagliari. A loan spell this season.
Guys, put a question in the chat. Is Napoli 2 Cagliari 0? We played about 77
Those
minutes.
Substitutions tell you exactly what Spalletti and how he sees the game. He knows at this point Napoli should be confident they can take all 3 points.
Caceres, Uruguayan international.
Come on, Napoli. Defend this. Well done.
Godin. Talking about Napoli trying to make sure of playing in the Champions League again. I was looking at when Cagliari last played in Europe. I had to go back to the 93-94 UEFA Cup. They reached the semi-finals, you know. That season they were beaten over 2 legs by the eventual winners, Inter. How about this though? Inter's goal scorers in the second leg, a 3-0 win at San Siro. Dennis Bergkamp, Nicola Berti and Wim Jonk.
Oh.
Speaking of European football, we've got 2 tremendous ties coming up. PSG at home against Manchester City, Tuesday 7 o'clock, BT Sport 2. And then the following night, Chelsea come to Italy, Turin to be precise, to take on Juventus. Because they used to play the UEFA Cup final over 2 legs as well, didn't they? Back in the day.
Remember as a young boy playing for Liverpool, playing at Marassi against Genoa for Liverpool. Unbelievable experience, what a stadium, what an atmosphere. And the great Branco scored one of the best free kicks I think I've ever seen live, and I witnessed it.
Lozana, Britannia's in the middle.
Oh! How? That should have been free.
Yeah, but Marassi was a wonderful stadium.
Incredible. The free kick that he scored, Branco, it was Roberto Carlos-esque, the way he smashed it about 10-15 yards wide and it ended up in the top corner. Found himself on Teesside at Middlesbrough.
Did you play against him again?
I think I did. Can't say for sure though.
Go on, Napoli.
In his prime, he was unbelievable.
Ospina just had precious little to do this evening. It was Meret that started the season as #1, but Ospina's certainly taken his chance since Meret got injured against Genoa.
That's how average Cagliari have been. I've got a Liverpool story in the second half and a Valencia story in the first half.
And I talked about toilet roll in the first half too. Koulibaly. Could get interesting here as we go into the final 10 minutes. Mario Rui's not been able to recover that. Peter Balde was hoping it would come to him, but it's Anguissa who brings it clear for
Go on,
Napoli.
Napoli.
They're just losing confidence as the minutes go by, Cagliari. It's one of these games when you're not going to get back into it. The scoreline's not too damaging. The performance, yes. Go away from this game, bury it and move on.
Britannia. Mario Rui.
Going to have some fixtures, Cagliari coming up where they have to take 3 points pretty soon, get themselves out the bottom 3.
Still looking for that first win. Venezia at home next, then Samp at home, then Fiorentina away. Spartak Moscow at home on Thursday for Napoli, and away to Fiorentina and home to Torino. Fabian Ruiz, Algi Velmas.
Ah! Unlucky.
No down here for Cagliari, but play continues. Over it comes to Martin Caceres. João Pedro.
Well done, Anguissa.
There's too many Cagliari players, their best players, have hardly seen the ball. Hernandez has been one of them. João Pedro, excuse me, top end of the pitch, who's not really had any service whatsoever. Strootman's not got forward at all.
2 more changes being ready. Pereira is going to be coming on, and Grassi as well. Elmas. Mentioning some great names of the past a few minutes ago, talked about David Ospina too. He named just recently his top 6 goalkeepers. Why 6, I don't know, but he did. And listen to some of these names: Reni Higuita, Cordoba, Calero, Mondragon, Casillas and Buffon. Reni Higuita, do you remember him?
Yes, absolutely.
Reni Higuita, the scorpion kick guy. Boom!
Ospina.
Infamous for the scorpion kick at Wembley.
Lozano. It's a great run, this.
Oh, straight at the keeper. Either side, that would have been 3-0.
It's a good jinky run that from Chucky Lozano. There's a few tight legs out there. He was probably going for the bottom right-hand corner.
More Serie A action coming up tomorrow night. Venezia, newly promoted, at home against Torino. Venezia are worth watching just for their kits, which have got to be some of the best in European football right now. And then a big boxing match to tell you about too. The final fight of the trilogy, Fury against Wilder, 3 Saturday the 9th of October, BT Sport box office. So Pereiro and Grassi coming on for Lico Yanis and Strootman. But I haven't really felt, Don, at any time tonight that Napoli have been under any threat of not winning this game, and that's a pretty damning indictment of Cagliari's approach.
It is, and Spalletti will be a comfortable man, he'll be a happy man, because his team have not really had to work too hard for this. It's been pretty stress-free.
Martin Caceres. There's the early cross. There was a little nudge there by Di Lorenzo that was clever defending.
Yeah, there's nothing too much I think Mazzari's going to take out of this performance and show any of the players leading into the Venezia game. As I said, just bury this one.
Lozano. Movement from Petagna. This is Elmas. Was talking Mazzari about the standards he expects in terms of attitude and behaviour, and he said, if I notice somebody being moody who mumbles and is harmful to the group, I'm ready to leave them out of the squad.
That's how it should be.
He won't accept any dissents. He's going to need everyone pulling in the right direction, I think, if they're not to be sucked into another relegation battle.
Yeah, in all honesty, that's how it should be.
But the longer they go on, Don, without getting that win on the boards, it's going to be difficult to keep squad harmony. Here's Elmas, looking to wriggle his way through.
He's had a good impact. Elmas coming off the bench, been quite direct and he's running.
He's got a growing influence for his country, Elmas, as well.
Another corner for Napoli, 87 minutes played.
Famous winning goal against Germany back in March. Godin with the header clear. Gisa completely misjudged it. They got it back again. By Rahmani. Diego Dema is going to come on.
Well, Fabian
Ruiz, first league appearance of the campaign for Dema, who suffered a knee injury pre-season. Had those 6 years with Leipzig in Germany, went from the 3rd tier to the Champions League with them. His dad is Italian and was a big fan of Maradona, hence the name Diego.
Great night's work though from Fabian Ruiz. Spalletti just giving him a high five. Put a real shift in the middle of the park. He's used the ball well.
He looks to me, Don, as Well, you think Fabian Ruiz, he looks as settled, as confident and as assured is probably the best word for me as he's ever looked in a Napoli shirt.
Yeah, I think so. I think I'd agree with that. I think what you're always left with Fabian Ruiz is, you know, there's so much talent in there and he always leaves you wanting a little bit more, but he's very easy on the eye.
I think Anguissa is helping him actually in the midfield. They seem to complement each other quite well. It's got a good blend, this Napoli side right now. Having to defend here. Final minute approaching in Naples. Could they get one back? Make it interesting in the closing stages here. Came off into Balde.
It's a nice little mix in that middle of the park. If you think Fabian Ruiz is playing a bit central.
Guys, if you like the stream with the thumbs up, don't forget to like and subscribe if you are new.
Allows those two midfield players to try and get forward.
Cagliari have only spent one of the last 17 seasons outside of the top flight. They won the second tier in that season in 2016, but there's a lot of work to be done on this evidence for Mazzari and his players in the coming weeks.
I'm still not sure if Cagliari have had any shots on target yet. Doesn't feel that way.
Unas, Petagna central. Lozano arriving on the edge of the box as well. Petagna!
Oh!
Good movement.
Okay.
Petagna, who then came short and just spun into the little channel, little diagonal run. Clever movement. Nice little weighted pass onto his left foot.
On in added time here for Cagliari. I'm not quite sure what the point of making a change. 2-0 down with a couple of minutes to go is really for Mazzari, but we'll hope to make that substitution. But Napoli 1 to 3rd. Unas. That was by Nandes.
Just a little bit of tiredness from Nandes. He didn't really want to track the run of the little 1-2. Don't blame him either. The shift that he's put in.
And he doesn't look to impress the president, De Laurentiis, but I'm sure he is inside with the start that his club have made to this Serie A season. They're going to make it 6 wins out of 6. And they're going back top of the table as well. 3rd in added time. Would be welcome too, as Di Lorenzo plays it back.
Yeah, they're just off for possession now, Napoli. They know the game's done. Has been for quite a while.
You've had a really good look at Napoli tonight, Don. I've heard all the talk about them being potential Scudetto challengers. What do you think?
I think I agree. I think after the first couple of weeks I was leaning towards the title going to Milan. And I think Napoli are putting their hands up now. 6 wins from 6, scoring a bucket load of goals, defensively extremely solid. And you can see why we've got a real title race on. It's very, very open. Obviously shocked at the start that Juve had. Sitting in the bottom 3, losing confidence. They had a big win against Samp.
Come on, Nap. Come on, Napoli.
But they've got to start climbing the table rapidly.
They've got to try and stop conceding goals as well, haven't they, Juve? Just looked very unsure at the back, which I never thought I'd say about Juventus, to be honest, when you think about the solid foundations that their glorious title winning sequence involved, as Petagna shows good pace to get on the end of this. So Another 3 points for Napoli, who continue their 100% start to the league season.
Full time Napoli 2, Cagliari 0. Like, subscribe with the bell notification if you are new. And I'll see you guys on Wednesday for Chelsea versus Juventus in the Champions League. Like,